Over the years, I've heard a number of misbeliefs or myths when it comes to new construction, and in this video, we're going to cover 6 of the most common myths when it comes to new construction that you may have already even heard and maybe even thought were true. Hey, Jose here, your SoCal Realtor. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, do not hesitate to reach out. My team and I, we are here and ready to help you with your real estate needs. Oh, I want to encourage you to stay to the end too, though, because the 6th one, honestly, that one might surprise you the most. New construction homes cost more. Honestly, raise a hand, who thought this one was true? Don't worry, I mean, honestly, this one really, it makes sense to believe that this one was true because, well, from a general perspective anyway, brand new homes are beautiful. But here's the thing, they aren't necessarily more expensive, at least not from a general across the board perspective, because I promise you, it is absolutely possible to find a brand new construction home, a nice new home that costs less than an existing resale home that's for sale on the market. However, there are a few things that you do want to keep in mind when it comes to cost on new construction homes, such as, well, property taxes. With new construction homes, the tax rate, not necessarily the tax dollars, you know, the actual dollar amount that you write on your check to make your property tax payments every year, but the tax rate for new construction homes, it many times it can be higher than other homes, even higher than maybe perhaps one of the other neighboring homes in the area. Not to mention, most new construction homes, they do tend to be in an HOA, so that's an added cost that you do need to keep in mind for every month. And yes, there are obviously perks or benefits or amenities is maybe a better word for it, of what come with an HOA, but still, that is an extra monthly cost that you do need to consider. It takes forever before you can move in. This one's obviously understandable why it's thought to be true. I mean, they do have to build the new home before you can move in, right?
Is it ready now?
Not yet.
But it definitely doesn't take forever to build a home. For most builders, for most homes, you're typically looking at maybe 6 to 9 months to be able to build a home from absolute scratch, to be able to build it and it's ready for you to move in. However, if you are looking for a home or you need a home to be ready for you to move in the next 30, maybe in the next 60, or even 90 days, then a new construction home, it might not be the right option for you. Actually, you know what? Hold that thought. There are cases where a builder might have a home or even a few homes that are in the process of being built that might actually be 30, 60, or 90 days away from being ready for someone to move in. If that's the case for you, then I would double check with the builder. Ask them, hey, do you have any homes that are in the process of being built? And if there are, when are they expected to be completed? Keep in mind though, with those homes, there usually are going to be limitations when it comes to the custom options or upgrades that you can select. For obvious reasons, I mean, the home's in the process of being built already. Doesn't mean that there's no options available, not at all. I would do this. Double check with the builder, do they have any homes that are in the process of being built? And if there are, what kind of upgrade options are still available? New construction homes, they have lower quality. Another interesting one actually, because sure, I mean, you can't deny building materials used today, they probably were a little bit different back in, I don't know, the 1950s. Doesn't necessarily mean that new homes today are cheaply built though. They do still have to pass inspections by the county at various stages throughout the entire building process, but just in terms of overall quality of the home, and sure, obviously, yes, it could vary a little bit different from this builder to that builder, but just overall quality of the home, I don't know if I would necessarily call it low quality. It's harder to qualify for a new construction home loan. Another one that I totally get why it's assumed to be true, because it's a new construction home after all, with all the new amenities and styles and all. Here's the thing though, it's not any easier or any harder to qualify for a mortgage to purchase a new construction home than it is to purchase a resale home. You're still gonna have to go through all the underwriting process. They're still gonna wanna review your tax returns, paycheck stubs. New construction or not, they're still gonna wanna make sure that you can afford to make the payments for the house. They're not going to, at least not that I've ever heard of. They're not gonna say, wait a minute, if this was one of the houses that's down the street, that's maybe 15 years old, then in that case, you only need a credit score of X. But this is new construction. This is a brand new home. So in that case, you're going to need a credit score of at least, well, Z.
That makes sense.
You could choose to go through the builder's lender. You could choose to use your own lender, an outside lender. totally your choice. You're not required to use one lender or another in order to purchase a new construction home. However, keep in mind that most builders, they do offer different incentives. Whether that's a free upgrade or maybe they'll help you buy down your interest rate, help you get a lower interest rate, or maybe even contribute some money towards your closing costs. But that's only if you use their lender. Now, will their lender have better terms than, say, maybe an outside lender, your own personal lender? Maybe, maybe not. Again, choice is yours. You can choose whichever lender you want, but that is how they bribe you to use their lender. New construction homes are all the same. They're cookie cutter. There is some truth to that.
Did you really just say that?
Most builders have a few different styles for the homes that they're building. They might have 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 different styles for the homes that they're building in that community. So the bottom line though is, yeah, there's going to be a few homes in your neighborhood that look like yours. The reason though why I say that there's only some truth to this one is because, well, there is some customizing you can do to your home. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it is a little limited just how much you can do to the customizing, but again, there is some that you can do. That might include the paint color that you have the home painted. It might include the landscaping that's all out in front of the home. Although keep in mind with landscaping, all new construction homes here in California, they're all built with water conservation landscaping, meaning they don't put in lawns. Now, whether you choose to put in a lawn later, I would say double check with that HOA, because one HOA might say yes, another one might say no. You don't need a real estate agent to buy a new construction home. Another one that does have some truth to it. The key word there is need. Listen, you can buy a new construction, you can buy any home. You can buy a new construction home, you can buy a resale home, you can buy any home without a real estate agent. However, would I say it's the best thing to do?
I'm going to say...
No, I would not say it's the best thing to do, and here's why I say that. When you go down to a new build community, could that sales rep that's in the office there, could they help you? Sure, absolutely. They'll help you with the paperwork. Yeah, keep in mind, that sales rep that's in there, they work for and represent the builder, not you or anyone that comes in that sales office. Not saying that they're evil and vindictive and they're out to get you. Not saying that at all. It's just that, well, they're not that likely to go out of their way to ruffle feathers with the builder to try and help make sure that you get the best from this purchase. Okay, another quick disclosure here, because having your own agent that represents you, that works for you, not the builder, it's good, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to change a bunch of terms in the purchase. But they can help look out for you, make sure you're not being led down a bad path. Again, this is someone that works for you and represents you, so they're not afraid to ruffle any feathers with the builder if it's necessary. This is also somebody that can help you with reviewing any documents that the builder gives you. Hey, we need you to sign this. You can say, hey, agent, can you review this? I just want to get your second set of eyes. Let me know what's going on here. What do they have me sign here? This is also somebody that can help refer you to an outside lender, someone that can, well, see if you can get better terms for a home mortgage. Also, maybe they can even refer you to a home inspector. Yes, I have heard some builders say, don't worry about it. You don't need to do that. It's a waste of money to have an inspector come through. You're going to do a walkthrough about a week or two before the house closes anyway. And my answer to that is, are you a professionally trained home inspector? And listen, I don't mean any disrespect by that. In fact, I don't know, for all I know, maybe you are a professionally trained home inspector, but I always recommend having a third-party professional home inspector come through the house just before you have that walkthrough that the builder is talking about. And listen, best case scenario, the builder did an amazing job. That inspector went through and couldn't find anything. I've yet to ever see that happen though. Worst case scenario, well, the inspector just gave you a report or a fix-it list to be able to hand over to the builder, to be able to make sure that all these things, we want them done, it's taken care of, it's ready before we move in. Just the point though is this, is having an agent that works for you, not for the builder, but works for you, is looking out for you, can refer you to to a lender, refer you to an inspector, or whatever. I wouldn't expect the builder sales rep to do that. I mean, think about when you're buying a car. That car sales rep at the dealership, they're your friend, right? No, you're basically on your own to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of, that you're getting the best deal on that car. But in this case, we're talking about a home, a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $900,000 home or more. Why would you go it alone on such a high dollar purchase? especially when it doesn't cost you anything extra to be able to have an agent that works for you, that represents you, and again, not the builder. Yeah, at least as of the recording of this video anyway, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. I'm gonna say something like 95% of the builders today, they have a marketing budget that they have set aside to be able to help them cover the fee for your agent. Yes, there are some that don't, but most of them do. And no, before you ask, they don't lower the cost of the house or anything like that if you don't have an agent. Just bottom line is if you don't, well, it benefits them because they get to keep that money that they were going to be paying out to an agent. Again, not saying that all sales reps are a bunch of evil people out to get you, but if they're already prepared to pay for you to have representation, to have an agent that works for you, that represents you, does not work for or represent the builder, right? I mean, if something funny or weird, strange, whatever, awkward comes up during this whole process, again, somebody that works for you, somebody that's not afraid to ruffle feathers with the builder and negotiate for you. Only makes sense, right? Just word of caution on that though, be sure that your agent is with you the very first time that you go see those new homes, because if you don't, if your agent's not with you on day one, that builder, I mean, I'm gonna say almost every builder, they will lock your agent out. You cannot have those funds that were allocated to be able to pay, they're not going to your agent. I mean, I guess you could have an agent if you're willing to pay for it. Of course, if you do have any questions, or maybe you are thinking about buying or selling a home herein, or just anywhere near the Inland Empire, my contact information is below. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, catch you on the next one.